You track your steps. You watch what you eat. You optimize your sleep. You've read the research on cortisol, on inflammation, on longevity. But there's one variable that quietly shapes all of those, and almost nobody talks about it in the health space. Your partner. Not in a romantic, self-help kind of way. In a deeply biological, measurably scientific kind of way. Today I want to talk about something I wish someone had told me in my 30s. The person you share your life with is the single most powerful health environment you will ever live in. Let's start with the research, because this isn't just intuition. Harvard's longest-running study on adult development tracked over 700 people for 80 years, across careers, finances, health, happiness. The conclusion? The single greatest predictor of health and longevity in midlife wasn't genetics, wasn't diet, wasn't exercise. It was the quality of close relationships. People in warm, secure relationships had sharper memories in their 80s. They recovered faster from illness. They reported less chronic pain, even when scans showed the same physical damage as people in high-conflict relationships. And on the other side, people in chronically unhappy relationships showed higher inflammatory markers, weaker immune responses, and faster cognitive decline. Let that sink in. Two people with identical diets and exercise routines can have dramatically different health trajectories based on who they come home to. Here's what most people don't realize. We biologically synchronize with the people we live with. This isn't poetic, it's physiological. Sleep patterns. Couples' sleep cycles tend to converge over time. If your partner is a chronic night owl, your sleep quality is quietly eroding, even if you're trying to go to bed early. Sleep is the foundation of everything. Metabolism, immunity, mental health, cellular repair, cortisol rhythms. Studies show that partners' stress hormones correlate throughout the day, even when they're apart. If your partner carries unresolved chronic stress, your own nervous system is registering that tension. You absorb it. You adapt to it. Over years, that becomes your baseline. Eating habits. Research consistently shows that couples' diets converge, not from pressure, but from proximity. Shared groceries, shared meals, shared let's just order something decisions. If his default is processed food and yours is whole food, guess which direction the compromise usually goes? Movement. People with active partners are significantly more likely to stay active as they age. People whose partners are sedentary gradually reduce their own activity levels, often without realizing it. This is what I call passive health drift, your body quietly adjusting to match your environment, and your partner is your environment. I want to share something personal here. I spent 4 years rebuilding my health from the ground up. Daily walking, real food, sleep discipline. Gradually, systematically, the way you'd rebuild any investment portfolio. And I noticed something that surprised me. The habits that stuck were the ones that fit into my life structure. The ones that collapsed were always the ones that fought against it. Your life structure includes your partner. It includes whether your mornings are calm or chaotic, whether your evenings are restful or emotionally exhausting, whether the person across from you at dinner replenishes your energy or quietly drains it. I'm not saying a partner has to be your fitness coach. I'm saying the emotional climate of your home is a health variable, a significant one that shows up in your cortisol levels, your sleep quality, your motivation, your inflammation. A chronically stressful relationship doesn't just feel bad, it ages you. So what does a health supportive partner actually look like? Not perfect, just structurally compatible. They have their own emotional regulation. This is the big one. A partner who relies on you as their sole emotional stabilizer, who needs you to manage their moods, calm their anxiety, absorb their stress, is a chronic cortisol trigger. You become a stress response system for two people. Emotional stability in a partner isn't about never having bad days. It's about whether they can return to equilibrium on their own, whether your nervous system gets to rest. Their baseline lifestyle doesn't fight yours. You don't need identical habits. You need compatible defaults. Do they sleep on a reasonable schedule? Do they have some relationship with movement, even if different from yours? Do they see food as fuel, or is every healthy choice you make quietly undermined? Small daily frictions compound. Over 10 years, shared defaults matter more than shared goals. They support your evolution without requiring you to shrink. Midlife is a time of significant change in health, identity, priorities. A partner who is threatened by your growth, who subtly discourages your new habits, who makes you feel guilty for prioritizing your health. That friction has a cost. The best health partnerships are ones where both people are still becoming, still curious, still willing to change. A few patterns worth naming honestly: chronic negativity and complaint. Not occasional venting, everyone does that. But a persistent worldview that life is unfair, that nothing works, that people can't be trusted. That kind of emotional atmosphere becomes your air quality. You breathe it every day. Contempt disguised as humor, small put-downs, jokes at your expense, dismissiveness toward things you care about. Research by John Gottman found contempt to be the single greatest predictor of relationship deterioration, and chronic exposure to contempt raises stress hormones measurably. Resistance to any change. If your partner can't update, can't reflect, can't adjust, that rigidity will eventually become a ceiling on your own growth. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Health is not a solo project. You can do everything right: the sleep, the steps, the nutrition, the stress management, and still be working against a headwind if the core relationship in your life is chronically depleting you. Or you can have a partner who doesn't share every habit, doesn't know every supplement, doesn't read every study, but whose presence is fundamentally calming, stabilizing, safe. That is a health asset. An invisible one that doesn't show up in any tracking app, but shows up in your blood work, your resilience, and your quality of life 20 years from now. Choose your environment carefully. Protect your nervous system like you protect your sleep. And if you're already in a good partnership, tend to it. It's one of the best health investments you have. I'm Lydia. This is Body Dividends. Invest in your body, invest in your money, live the returns. See you next time.